Mars is the fourth planet from the Sun. It's right next to Earth and right before the asteroid belt. The distance between the Sun and Mars is 143 million miles. In fact, the Sun appears half the size on Mars than it does on Earth. A similarity that Mercury and Mars have is that they're both terrestrial planets, along with Earth and Venus. So, yeah, they're not very similar at all. Besides that, Mars and Venus are very different yet similar at the same time. The atmosphere on Venus is extremely thick. Meanwhile, on Mars, it's extremely thin. A similarity they both have is that both Mars and Venus have carbon dioxide as 95% of their air. The distance between Mars and Earth is 34 million miles. And the amount of time it would take for Earth to get to Mars is 300 days. And the time they're able to launch is every 2 years, whenever Mars is the closest to Earth. The radius of Mars is 2,106 miles. Mars also has two very prominent moons. One is called Phobos, the other one Deimos. The origin of this planet's name comes from the Roman times. The god of war, Mars. Back then, they believed that Mars got its red hue after the god of war would wipe his blade off after a bloody battle. The tallest mountain in Mars is called the Olympus Mons. Not only is it the tallest mountain in Mars, it's also the tallest mountain in the solar system. Its size is of Mount Everest, but 2.5 times bigger. The temperature on Mars is very irregular. It has a standard of being -81 degrees Fahrenheit to being 138 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a very substantial difference. So let's hope that little guy over here brought a coat and some sunscreen. Something else that is very different from Earth to Mars is the amount of gravity. The gravity on Mars is 62.5% less than what it is on Earth. Meaning that something that is 38 pounds on Mars is 100 pounds on Earth. Look at him go. How are you gonna get off this planet, little buddy? Huh?